which match this is exactly
Yeah.
because every single player left in this bracket is one that I am interested to watch. But this is definitely a hell of a one to start with.
This is a good one, and it's an interesting start because we're already starting off with a mirror match. We got Coosco on the left, skillz on the right. Both of them are Cammy players, but they both approach these players these characters very differently from each other. One thing I like about Coosco is that, at least in watching him, it feels like he squeezes water out of stone sometimes with the amount of movement he can do to just pressure and create so much tension and eventually break that position right opening. And it's something that I love seeing, but skillz, very aggressive, very animated, very fun player. I love watching him and I love playing against him. It's always a good time. So I'm stoked. I'm very excited for this one.
Yeah, and to start off with a mirror match, too, I mean, like you're saying, this is a perfect opportunity to get to see that player expression, especially with a character like Cammy, where there is a lot of player expression to be had. I mean, you throw in a character that has good movement in general and some decent pokes, right? You're already going to get some good player expression because you're going to say, am I getting right up in your face or am I going to play a solid mid-range? And it sounds like we're going to get a battle of that.
Exactly. And, like, one of the cool things with Cammy, too, is, like, a lot of play, if you can go with very much the punk style, where he's just playing great, solid, grounded footsies, great confirms, reactions, or you might lean a little bit more into her setup. She has really cool stuff off Hooligan Spire that's a little bit underexplored, a lot of opportunities in that space, and it can go really any way. And, exactly what you said, the movement, thanks to, like, Drive Rush, Drive Impact, how confirmable they are, seeing how people control space and how they choose to challenge and advance on others is a huge hallmark of this game, so I'm super looking forward to seeing how they both handle it today.
I like that you brought up Punk style, too, because when you think of, like, the first couple of Cammys that come to your mind probably, right? Punk and Jaywong, right?
Oh, yeah.
Very much that grounded footsies kind of style, but there is just so much you can do with Cammy. And, I mean, you see a lot of the times that, like, they take to the air, they're going to be using a lot of the cannon strike.
Yeah. The dive kick.
I always have to remember which cannon S blank IKE it is. But going out from the air like that, because it's very hard to immediately react and anti-air on that, because if you don't have that lower body invincibility or armor or anything like that, it can be a problem. But like you said, with skillz on the screen, you are immediately going to start seeing some aggression, and we do see it right here. Cammy on hit, and especially putting you into the corner, it's time to start guessing, buddy boy.
Yeah, one of the best things about her is that magnificent corner carry. She really can bring you over all of a sudden. And right now, skillz is just trying to control space. He has a slight bit of a lead here, and he's just traveling with those standing medium punch, that standard issue poke, take a sip, and try to double down as much as you can. Really good dive kick, counter trade, nothing too crazy happening, just confirming into a drive rush, and is just choosing to try and keep the pressure, but Coosco's not biting.
No, I mean, again, you're talking about playing that great mid-range game. Here is that corner game again, though, but immediately reading that throw, right, because Cammy has those powerful throw loops, again, right on top of it with that tech. So already we're seeing that player-to-player adaptation come in.
Yeah, and, like, one big thing right now is skillz is burned out, but Coosco knows he's at low health. Yeah, one trade exactly like that. You whiff the dive kick. You weren't able to get that low hitbox and get plus frames off of it. You get punished out. Like, Coosco very good at not overcommitting when he needs to. Even though skillz was in burnout, you'd think that'd be prime time to do it. Coosco's very smart, very patient, but if skillz' offense is wearing him down like we're seeing so far, hooligan throw.
Yeah, like we're talking about, sometimes that hooligan, that can lead into stuff, especially stuff on the follow-ups and off of the OD, right? Very underexplored. But even sometimes the Cammys just don't want to commit to that. Nice corner change right there, though. Immediately back into it. Love the wake-up DP. But, yeah, Coosco, again, like you were talking about, when you're down to just that one little sliver of health against another Cammy in the mirror match, it can start to get tough.
Yeah, and you see, he's just taking a little bit of a breather, maybe considering even switching to something else. Nah, I just wanted to take a little bit of a breather. I like that, though. I mean, you see all the time, especially in a game like this, you can instantly rematch. If you lose, taking a second to, okay, let me bring it back, let me just reselect the same stuff, but let me calm it back down. skillz is a very momentum, aggressive-based player. If I can slow him down even a little bit, not quite icing him, but just putting a little bit of a break on there, it can help out a lot.
Well, just giving yourself a second to just, consider what the opponent has been doing, right? And again, you're talking about against a hyper-aggressive player like skillz. Like, yeah, you're definitely going to need to consider, okay, in these situations, when he's walking up on me, like right here, we haven't seen a lot of that walk back to try to bait out something like that DP, which we saw earlier. Punish counter's not going to lead into anything, though. And Coosco, again, right, taking it a little bit slower. Not to say that he's even playing that slow. It's just that skillz is almost always taking the initiative.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, good job. Nice catch on the whiff punish there. Goes ahead and throw, set up into the corner, and now we've got to play throw loop game. But Coosco immediately backing off, not overextending and putting himself into a risky position. Great jump out by skillz, finding a way out of the corner, but another good challenge in the side swap. We're in a good position here. skillz is pushing back out, drive rushing to just keep things going. We're relatively even on meter and bar. Everything's very close. Nice dive kick to punish the whiff. This is going good for Coosco.
Immediately getting things right up started, and once you're in that yellow health zone, it can start to get really scary going up against Cammy because it only takes a little confirm, and you know that the game is already going to be over. So Coosco getting on the board to start off this game too.
Nice EX dive kick to start it off. Goes ahead and takes the throw. You know, people complain about Cammy's damage, especially on launch, but as you see, she really is good that she doesn't have that crazy damage off of a lot of her confirms. Her corner carry, her aggression, and her Oki is so effective that you're glad that she can't hit you for 30-40% every interaction. It's very good. Nice dive kick by skillz, once again finding a way in. Oh, good challenge by the standing light kick.
I like that every time Coosco has done anything, right? Walk up, try to get a throw, do a hooligan, or even that interaction with the drive rush. skillz takes it personally and says, actually, I'm going to do that. Right back at you. There's that throw tech. I'm wondering if Coosco's going to be the same and say, maybe now I'll try to walk up and get my throw too.
Exactly. If you can do it, I can do it better. And I like that attitude. Again, Coosco's doing such a good job finding these confirms off of these standing light kicks and drive rushing right back into them immediately to capitalize. It's such a good button because you put it out there, it's very low risk, very low engagement, but it catches so many of Cammy's long buttons that skillz has been using, such as, you know, crouching medium kick, the bane of characters' kits in this game.
And especially, again, for a character like Cammy, we're, you know, finding the openings isn't necessarily the hard part, but getting the big damage sometimes, like you're mentioning, compared to some of the other monsters. I mean, you look at what they did to Ryu in this game, and you're like, oh, okay, so just 5,500 damage off of a hit when I've got level 3 is just the norm that I should expect at this point. Like, okay, I see what we're doing now. But we are getting into Game 3 right here. And again, this is winner's quarters right now, so I do believe that this is still best of 3 territory, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, winner semis will push them to best of 5. So this is going to be the last game for both of them. Of course, they still have the losers bracket after they got knocked out. Oh, great sweep to set up the pressure. Coosco backing off, trying to bait out a DP from skillz, and skillz ain't biting. But this is a very important game because they get them to the best of 5 territory for the winner, and you don't want to go into losers now. It's so scary with the amount of killers down there.
I love that these two are calling out that, you know, the other guy is probably not going to go on the offensive with the same option twice in a row. So, okay, you wanted to bait out the EXDP from me that time. I'm just going to let it rip because you're going to go for something else.
Exactly. Like, at this level, adaptation is so important, and you can't just keep trying to bait out the same option if somebody's not willing to use it. You have to be rotating both your Oki and your defensive options. Right now, look at these footsies. I love the neutral jump adaptation to beat out the dive kick that skillz kept going for, and drive impact wall splat.
I mean, it's so close to being enough, but again, Cammy, not the biggest damage output even off of that splat, but there's that throw. Turn him around, send him back to the center. Let him take a good look at that red stop sign because that's where this winner's bracket run might end for skillz if he can't turn it around because Coosco's got 3 straight game wins.
One of the things that is a little bit underrated, oh god, great light punch confirms into the throw. Already got the corner carry, and this is looking very effective. Nice drive rush, and again, these light punches into those spiral arrows, driving back meaty. You can't deal with that, and now you're taking so much damage. You got one more interaction with the 3 bars. skillz at least taking the corner back. I like the shimmy attempt there. Gets the throw this time. It's looking good.
This is what I like to see, Cicada, right? skillz getting put into the corner, but not breaking and saying, okay, you know what? I know what I like to do. I know where I'm best. That's when I'm pressing buttons. Look at the spacing from Coosco, though. The fundies are on point right now. You talked about that pressure. Even when you were on the offensive, I am putting that pressure on you by just standing there, and that's going to be a 2-1 victory for Coosco.
That's very good. Just great positioning, and that's one of the things I like, and especially you get to see a lot of like Street Fighter players at a higher caliber, is you do so much with so little. Just using your movement as a threat. I mean, especially like Smash, you see that a lot in like top melee players, is using your movement to create openings by just threatening to be in a different position than your opponent wants you to be, your opponent giving up space or trying to commit to an option, and all of a sudden you're not there anymore. And you